Hi, I'm Bugsy and I'm a recovering addict. I'm going to be reading just for today, November 30th, 2024, Sharing the Real Me, page 348, basic text, page 85. Sharing with others keeps us from feeling isolated and alone. Intimacy is the sharing of our innermost thoughts and feelings with another human being. Many of us long for the warmth and companionship intimacy brings, but those things don't come without effort. In our addiction, we learn to guard ourselves from others lest they threaten our using. In recovery, we learn how to trust others. Intimacy requires us to lower our defenses to feel the closeness intimacy brings. We must allow others to get close to us, the real us. If we are to share our innermost selves with others, we must first have an idea of what those innermost selves are truly like. We regularly examine our lives to find out who we really are, what we really want, and how we really feel. Then, based on our regular inventories of ourselves, we must be as completely and consistently honest with our friends as we can be. Intimacy is a part of life, and therefore a part of living clean. And intimacy, like everything in recovery, has its price. The painstaking self-scrutiny intimacy calls for can be hard. And the total honesty of intimacy often brings its own complications. But the freedom from isolation and loneliness that intimacy brings is well worth the effort. Just for today, I seek the freedom from isolation and loneliness that intimacy brings. Today, I will get to know the real me by taking a personal inventory, and I will practice being completely honest with another person. I'm going to keep this simple, and as the genie says in Aladdin, as a bee, be yourself. Because that's the only person you can be. And if you start to feel uncomfortable in your own skin, go check the mirror and make sure you're wearing your own skin. Are you conforming to other people's likes, beliefs, ethics, morals because you want them to notice you, you want to fit in, and you're foregoing becoming who you are and being who you are so that they notice you? Because eventually the real you is going to start to show through, and you're just going to look like a liar or a fraud or a fake or a poser. Throwback. Be who you are, and the ones that are going to accept you wholeheartedly are the ones that don't expect you to change to match their aesthetic. And also regarding recovery and addiction and the journey that we went on and are still on, I find it easy to be transparent. I know some people are like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't need to. And you don't need to. You don't need to bring it up. You don't need to share with people. But I would recommend that at some point in whatever relationship, the new friendship, the new lover, the new whoever it is, that eventually you kind of share a little bit of your past with them, because as well as we hid our addiction, nobody ever knew. No, that's quite the opposite, actually. There is a possibility that our addiction will get back to this person through the grapevine, because you know how people like to talk, especially if it's about somebody else's failures. Goodness gracious, they're on their soapbox with that. So it's better to come from you. After a little while, you guys build some trust, you have a relationship going, a friendship, intimate relationship, whatever it is. Hey, I'm just going to let you know that I do have a past. Everybody has a past. Maybe not as dark as ours, but I have a past. This way, you're transparent with who you were in order to become who you are today. And when you tell stories about your life, because that's inevitable, we all, share stories with each other. When you share stories, there's not going to be plot holes, and there's not going to be, gaps here, and you don't have to think about how am I going to explain this when, I don't explain that. And there's not going to be any question of, wait, they're missing something. I think that maybe they're lying or making this up, or maybe they're hiding something, and that kind of irks me and that pushes me away. Be transparent. Be transparent to the point that you're comfortable, but don't try to hide who you once were, because you are who you are today because you knew who you were back then. But be yourself. Don't change for other people unless it's for the better.
And there's so much room for interpretation of, don't change for someone else, and don't change, and don't do this, and don't change, and don't change, and don't change. When you're like, oh, but what if this person, what about, you know what I'm talking about. If you like who you are, you're happy with who you are, and you're proud of who you are, don't change who you are for someone else. They shouldn't have to change who they are for you. Maybe you just don't match. Or maybe opposites attract. Who knows? But if you keep being who you are and being true to yourself, the right people will stay in your life. And you can share the real you with them and not feel judged. And not feel like you're broken still. And not feel like you're not enough because they like this and you like them, so I need to start liking that so that I can. No. You guys will find each other. Friendship, lover, whoever it is, you will find each other. And it will feel good because you're just going to fit. And you don't got to adjust anything. And I hope everyone is doing well out there, and I will talk to you later. Bye.